So now we come to your task 4, the final assignment for communication. What it says is it's got a grade A and a grade A star in it, and it is seen with the fact that you have a discussion point. The discussions are a little bit more difficult in the manner that you have to be clear about what you want to talk about to be able to do it well. So it's vital that you actually ensure you do the preparation, because it's not something you can simply turn up and be able to talk about and hope to manage without any prep. Read through this assignment. It says you have been asked to participate in a multidisciplinary professional group discussion with a number of other organizations. For this, you will need to prepare written notes that you can use but not read from during the meeting. Now, the written notes are available, as you can see, in the support sheet at the bottom here. Here they are, and we will talk through them. So it's about you using this template and putting all your notes in there, then submitting those notes before the discussion date so that you are able to use them only when you are doing your work. And that's very important, because if we have a read through, it says, note you will not be able to use any other sources during this recorded session. Only the notes submitted can be used as a guide to your discussion. No use of mobile devices, laptops, textbooks, or copied material can be used during the session. Now, do remember that, because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to turn up with a laptop or your phone and want to use it, and I'm going to say no. So please be aware that you can only use the templated notes that I have set up, and you can put your notes into that and have that in front of you as a guide, but not as anything more. I don't suggest reading from it. So if we move into it, the discussion will be centered around the explanation of the potential tensions between maintaining confidentiality and the need to disclose information. Furthermore, there needs to be an explanation of the impact of communication on the service delivery outcomes. So for the grade A in that, what you're trying to do is, for this, you will need to be prepared to explain the potential tensions between maintaining confidentiality and the need to disclose information. This explanation must focus on the confidentiality to demonstrate detailed understanding of the need to maintain confidentiality, the potential tension between maintaining confidentiality and disclosing information, and the need to disclose that information. So you've got all of the different aspects that are here. Now, if we do move into the assignment support sheet that's here, what you'll find is it says that you need to cover all of the aspects that are there. So you need to be able to talk about duty of care, consent, need to know, policy, procedure, and protocol. And what you want to do with that is you want to be able to talk about how they help to maintain confidentiality and why there might be a need to disclose information. When you're doing that, you want to be able to give your examples within the healthcare or the social care setting, and you want to be able to finally talk about when it might become a bit of an issue between having to keep the information confidential and having to actually disclose that information to somebody else. So it's vital that that happens in the correct manner. Okay, and you can see that over here. If you go down, it gives you the ability. Can you give an explanation for the need to be confidential? Can you give an explanation of when you might need to disclose information? Can you give an example of it in the healthcare setting or the social care setting? Can you give an example of it in the healthcare or the social care setting? And then when might it happen that there is an issue where you might have a problem where you want to keep the information confidential, but then you also may need to disclose that information. So we are asking for 2 examples to be given. As you can see, you need to really do your part to be able to complete that. You cannot simply turn up on the day and provide an answer, especially as you need to be able to have researched all of the material and be prepared. Now, if we move into the A grade, A star grade, let's go back to the assignment. And if we go back to the assignment, what you will find is it says, furthermore, you will need to explain the impact of communication on service delivery outcomes. So how does the service look at the end? So what is it like at the end product of the service delivery that is being given? And you will need to provide a detailed explanation of the impact of good, effective communication or bad, ineffective communication in relation to how it might affect the individual, their family, and their carers, how it might have an impact on practitioners and their colleagues, how it might have impact on the organization, how it might have an impact on the partnership with other organizations or services. As you can see, you've been given some examples of the ones that appear in the criteria. So if we jump into your task 4 guidance, it says you must be able to talk about all of these individuals in place and talk about the impact of communication when service is being provided. So all of these have to be talked about. Now, if we take a look at the template, you'll find that the template area says explain the impact of communication, effective or ineffective, on service delivery for individuals, families, and their carers within your example, and then doing the same thing for practitioners and colleagues, and then doing the same thing for service delivery on an organization, and finally to do with other agencies. When you're doing all of this together, I appreciate there is a lot of work and a discussion. This is why you need to prepare your work and plan how you're going to be able to do this. It is possible for people to talk about the same thing when it comes to, for example, how effective, explain the impact of communication on effective or ineffective service delivery on an organization. You can discuss that initially in your professional discussion, but then obviously your examples need to be different so that you can meet the criteria. It does take some time, and this is where I've asked for you to be able to do this in this manner so that you can concentrate on making sure that you are clear. This will also showcase who is able to discuss their ideas rather than simply read from them. So task 4 is your last task. Do not forget the references that are involved in doing that. And it's very, very important that you're able to follow through on it. It says show evidence of wider reading. Make sure you refer and support your discussion and evaluation. Ensure that you have the ability to explore relevant issues and contribute to evaluation. Make sure that you are able to do the reading for it so that you can show that you are able to back up your ideas. Good luck and wishing you well until I see you for your discussion.